Mohan. It's day two. Day two, hot and live from Moscow, and now more importantly, we've got ourselves a filled stadium.
It's completely
packed. I can almost feel it
the
through the walls, man.
Yep.
I can feel it coming.
You could see the vibrations today.
Well, I don't know what you had for breakfast, but I'm not seeing vibrations nor colors.
A couple of pieces of meat.
Yeah.
Any more questions?
No.
Okay.
No, except for are you excited? Because we've got ourselves an interesting matchup featuring forZe, a team that I don't think anybody would have expected to be leading the scoreboard coming out of the first day.
It's one of those teams.
2-0.
It's one of those teams that a lot of people knew had great players for years.
Yeah.
But nobody knew when they'd come up or if they'd just get washed into the background like so many other teams in the past. But they got their time. And if you talk to a lot of pros, you've seen like a lot of people, even like us who have been casting some of these players for years,
right.
You always knew that they had it in them.
Well, funny enough, too, coming right out of Berlin, I mean, this was a team that a lot of people were trying to put into the top 16. You know, it seems like Avangard took that slot from them, and yet they've got promise coming in today, not to mention that revenge match. But here we are. First game's NiP, right? Another team who had found some success yesterday, sitting in the top 3. 1 win and a tie to their name. This pistol round's already got a bomb down, and it's a bomb down with 10 players alive. A rare but delightful treat in Counter-Strike. Dual Berettas, 2 guns better than 1, some say. We'll see. Exapower and FaceCrack, they're going to be locking down construction, and these poor CTs who came 5 in from spawn have not even been able to surpass the tree until now. They get through that threshold, they find their footing in construction, but it's at such a time disadvantage, they've got to keep going. Great trade from Get Right, tapping that bomb, he has the kit. Oh, he's got the kit, and he spins, spins.
Oh my God. Okay.
Almost taking the pistol, but it's forZe with the opening round.
That was very close. Good try. Gotta give him the commend. That was a nice effort. Going for a full retake on B on Inferno. I mean, on Inferno, there's no nice site, right? Either site, you don't really want to be in a position where you have to go for a retake. I guess at least it's 5v5 and your one player doesn't die by himself. But still, once forZe are in the site, they get the bomb down. They expect to win. We saw them win. It did come close, but ultimately they have the round. So now we move into an anti-eco. Plopsky's got a UMP. There's a few sets of grenades here. Obviously, everyone's money's been spent right now. And for forZe, they have 1 AK. So they are expecting an easy round. If they knew it was going to be a full force up, you'd maybe think they'd get a second AK. So that could play into the outcome of this round for sure.
Ooh, nice nade. Popped over the top.
You know, yeah, for the damage, considering how specific you have to be with that grenade, I'm going to call that a fantastic grenade, right? Because you got to bounce it off the skybox. You know exactly where it's going to land. I called out that half wall positioning perfectly.
MP5 SD on the forefront. FaceCrack utility out from Balk. Black goes inside of the pit, and he's going to counter this with the smoke of his own. Tries to move forward. 3 CTs nearby, and forZe looking to backpedal here. Remember, bombs over in Banana, so at no point were they really going to sink their teeth into that A site, but at least they've sunk FaceCrack up into the apartments.
It is
comes back now.
It is. It's smoke strike. Rez held on to one for lane, and that pushes the T's back. But the T's are going to be scared that they're getting forced into the option that Ninjas want them to go to. However, it's a farce. There's only 2 people here. It's basically split up right now. The rotates are starting to come in. But again, more utility starts pluming in their faces. They've got to continue on with the execute now, but they're probably terrified.
Oh, another nade. Great timing. Here comes Get Right in the midst of it all. Jerry's the only kill so far in a second. Single-handedly clearing out that bomb site. Should enable FaceCrack to get his plant, and sure enough he does. And Get Right wastes no time getting up and over the coffins, just nearly jumping on top of FaceCrack. But Exapower locks down that CT spawn, and Get Right still a thorn in their side. Just working between these Ts, but so little HP is not going to put him in a prime spot. Maybe Rez can bring this back. A Deagle honed in towards Jerry, hearing the footsteps to his right. He just has to isolate these duels, and I don't think they realize he's amidst them. There's the first. Jerry's down. Rez is going to get on this bomb, but a 10-second defuse is not going to favor him. Exapower rounds the corner, and even though he dies in the end, it's okay. They take their round, but at a hell of a cost.
Hell of a cost. With a kit, obviously, he's got that. But, oh, he actually dies as well. So, nothing saved this round. Everybody has been murdered.
Nobody wins.
Oh, nobody. Well, the T's still, but
that's true.
Yeah, some sense. But just barely. It does affect the buy right now. But again, they didn't invest that much. So I would have, honestly, you know, going to say just great round from NiP overall. They played it to perfection in terms of for what they had to work with. They had a little bit of utility. They made sure not to use it too early. They used it to make sure that the team went into the site they wanted to. They had good rotates to come in. Plopsky and someone else got the first 2 kills. So everything was really lining up there. And they did it with a much worse buy. A nice try. And they get 5 kills for their efforts. Only thing to offset that is the bomb for forZe. And now they'll have an opportunity to further their advantage, but forZe are going to be even more confident that NiP will not be spending much, though they have forced.
Plopsky close corner. There's the peek. Big peek, in fact. Rez with a flash assist for the 2 SMGs to go wild. Another chance, but down he goes. That gives back their man advantage. Leaves us even-keeled 3v3. Rez feels like he needs support. And when I say even, remember, there's still that huge AWP and SMG advantage. But again, costs racking up. And loss bonus stacking up for the Ninjas. FaceCrack gets his entry on the opposite side of the map, and that's really going to peel them off of Banana. They grab that bomb and just sprint for the A site.
Yeah, that's one of those swing frags. If FaceCrack dies, they probably lose. If FaceCrack gets a kill, well, suddenly very difficult for the CTs. They're going to rotate in now. Rez coming up through lane, but he's being avoided entirely. They've taken the Halls route. He kind of understands what's going on. He's late to the party. Bomb can go down safely within the site, and Arch's smoke. So he's going to get positioned in for a long haul retake. forZe coming up through mid a little bit late. Opportunity for a headshot is dropped. Rez won't be able to do much more than that.
forZe wrapping back around the arch side. Realizing they're not going to get an opening here, they just have to walk this one away. You have strong feelings here, Mo, about Ninjas just coming in with another force? I mean, that Banana stack up, the Banana setup, they clearly wanted to get more than just the one-man advantage. That's why they go for their repeaks. You know, they understand that even with a 4v3, they still had that lackluster weapons. So they had to get really aggressive, and now they're going to find themselves strapped for cash.
Well, yeah, I think Plopsky and Get Right both got kills.
Right.
That was not bad. They had a good shot of it. Like, you don't often see that anymore. Like 2 force-ups in a row, you lose the first round after the second round. But it catches them somewhat off guard. Once again, forZe invest in 3 MAC-10s. So economically speaking, they could see what the other team had. So they knew what they were getting into. They were correct about it. They had a pretty good chance at winning, and it would have been nice. It's just such a big bonus to steal back the economy there, especially on the 3rd round after losing the 2nd. So I think their minds were in the right place. They made a good call. They just couldn't follow through, and it's probably a 40% chance they win the round in the first place. So them even getting closer, getting a couple kills is probably okay. But of course now we're in a wait. What they bought? Did they buy everything?
Oh, no, a little curb purchase, right? That MAC-10 and the primaries were kept forward. It's the Deagles and some Kevlar, smoke grenades to just burn down that clock like we saw in a previous round.
And obviously, all the while their loss bonus racks up. So
yep,
that's okay.
It's a bit delayed. It's going to give forZe a happy lead at the start of things, but a Deagle kill and further damage from Rez. Good start. It's Flit though with a double, and oh geez, forZe swinging it right back in their direction. Sure enough, forZe, they're on the bomb site. They've got their plant. That's all going well for them. And luckily, Jerry creates a bit more space as that plant comes through. Question being, of course, him losing 70 HP, potentially putting Exa Power into the clutch, could create a problem. We're going to get that peek off balcony.
Oh,
and Exa Power has slick flicks. Let's see if he can hit this. Saw a bit of a shoulder peek, so it gives it away, and forZe on 4 HP is probably not going to have much to say here. Again, 2nd AWP frag from Exa Power, and that AWP factor for me is going to be a big question and an exciting portion of this matchup.
We didn't watch the matches yesterday, so we don't know
how
it was that forZe stomped. It was they stomped ENCE
16-4.
16-4. I don't know if the rounds were as tight as they were here, but I would say Ninjas in all 4 of the rounds we've seen so far were pretty close at parts. Like there was one swing frag that really sealed it up for forZe. They managed to get it, but obviously signs of a good team. Signs of a good team that they have the individual power to do that. So now we'll move on to the first official rifle round of the game. forZe going to take his talents to mid stair all the way down to the bottom on a slightly passive angle. It's going to be somewhat limited on information. Doesn't see anybody jumping out to Banana, but that's not going to be much of a secret anyways. Get Right front facing on Banana, and Rez and Plopsky on either sides of the map both get a kill.
Right. It's not the
Call
first,
this one early.
Not the first time NiP has used Banana for the early advantage, boosting up Get Right. Putting Plopsky in the back box, but he's still changing position. You get caught transition just like that. Jerry with a killer headshot. Get Right's going to have to try and succeed, and he will with the first. Jerry, though, knows. And Jerry, this is the second time he's kind of bailed out of his team when it comes to this B defense, but Launders, they've made a crucial error.
They forgot the bomb, dude. Yeah. But it actually nets them a kill.
Hello, Rez.
I mean, they get a kill because of it. They also still don't understand why he was going back to mid. It's in their favor to try to delay for a little bit, provided they have smoke. So now they have to refresh that one, and they can go in for a safe plant. Certainly the CTs aren't going to rush this, and they know that. So with an op on the site, you think, all right, they're in a pretty good spot.
Jerry, not even hiding, takes that aggressive angle, welcomes Lekro through the smoke, and now forZe is going to have to crack this bomb site open. Deep positioning in the after plants. 100% certainty that Jerry's still back there. Ooh,
no
nice adjustment.
No reason to peek.
Now forZe is going to smoke off that bomb, and Exapower's already got positioning. forZe on fire as fast as can be. 5-0 on the start of Inferno.
Little flaw in the setup. You know, you don't want to be in that position where you're leaving your op in a 1v1.
Yeah.
He didn't have to peek anything from quad. He had his teammate at emo. That guy can watch the cross. Anybody who comes into his territory, whether it's right or left side, he can hold that for him. So, you know, play it a little bit safer, and you make sure you win that round. But Exapower goes ahead, takes the easy off shot, wins the 1v1 anyways. forZe now on fire, and NiP back on a save. 2 MP9s, a Deagle, a couple of Deagles, and a P250. Every single round they've had something. They've tried to invest, whether it was a half save or force up.
And that full roster of smoke grenades too, you know, so you know exactly what sort of round this is going to be.
There's no reason not to play Inferno like it's classic Inferno on the eco rounds.
Ooh.
There's one smoke on either side of the map is so incredibly powerful. No one wants to execute with only halls on an anti-eco. No one wants to go into Banana when Banana's smoked on an anti-eco. You force someone to go through your smoke, you look pretty foolish. So once forZe know that this is the game plan, it's obviously in their best interest to try to bait out the smokes as fast as possible, and NiP's best interest to try to delay their smokes for as long as possible and make sure they call as many bluffs as possible. Here we have expelled most of the smokes, and now it just comes down to forZe, and he's rotated over towards B. So we'll see. I don't think it's certain that forZe go A in this situation, even though they have so many players here. We'll see what they decide later on. Lekro gets a kill. Is that going to scare them?
Yeah, Exapower splattered.
Oh, they're committing.
Porch, let's see. He's got man above him, 3 of which wrapping around arch side. Commitment into the A side. Poor Lekro's going to get pinched here. He's just uncomfortable at the moment. Trying to play, into the pit. That's a second Deagle kill. Single-handed defense from Lekro falls. Not able to get that third one, but still, he puts his team into a prime spot with this man advantage. 20 seconds, you know forZe get this bomb in. But they are going to have the ninjas breathing down their neck. Face crack. Easy audio cue. Get Right sprints right into his death. Now he's able to fixate his attention on mid. Spotting that last body. forZe going to try to maybe use this chance to grab the op, but Jerry's going to defend it. And so nothing further after Lekro's 2 Deagle kills for the ninjas. 6-0 forZe. Still on fire.
It's great to see Face Crack in the server playing at this level.
Yeah.
We've both casted games way back in the day, you know, where he played on Pitter. And for those of you who don't know, Pitter was a legendary CIS lineup. They were kind of what Epsilon is to France, or sorry, what Epsilon is to Swedish players.
Yep.
forZe is to CIS players. They've played with Waylander, Waterfalls, Face Crack, Tony Black, that we know of now, JMQA, Hooch was on their team.
Yep.
Almost everybody went through this roster at one point or another. So.
Remember, Jimco being one of those guys who made that miraculous run with Quantum Bellator Fire.
Yeah.
You know, teammate of Peter, so.
Yeah.
Peter. Alas, we find ourselves back into the gun round. The second true purchase for the Ninjas in Pajamas, and we are 7 rounds deep. forZe, curious, will take a bit of a gander down Banana, but he's met by a smoke. A soon-to-fade smoke with Exapower on the other side, and that flashbang is going to initiate the peak. They see the CT, spam him down, but Plopsky, excellent trade back. He gets the best of both Almazer and Flit. Another 4v3 for the Ninjas. Can forZe bounce back into this? Arch side completely open. Bomb once again, though, back in spawn.
Yeah, they've been awkwardly pushed into a mid-round too quickly, and now they don't have the bomb. There's lots of time left. Oh, my God.
plopski just burns in the back of the bomb site. This puts it all on Get Right. Excellent flick back, but, of course, he is just outnumbered. Difficult position for him to try and clear out both. And where do they want to go? Bomb heads towards B. Lekr0, I mean, he's the pit player.
They're running into him. Yeah. Oh, that's a first free kill.
Wow.
And the bomb will know now that he just needs to go back to their original game plan. Hit the B site, and will be reset into a 1v1. Lekr0, all he wants to do is wait just right now, just in case there's some like late lurk around Arch that was planning to kill him. Once he sees the bomb goes down, though, we're going to burn 10 to 12 seconds of him just running to the site. So the retake becomes that much more difficult. Now we've also got to factor in that the T could go anywhere because that smoke is down and he knows that Lekr0 is nowhere close. So he's going to try to clear out some angles, but at a certain point he's got to start running and then he'll give his game plan away.
Well-placed frag grenade could actually finish this, but he throws it towards Coffins instead. So now that time really becomes a burden. He doesn't have a kit, takes the tap for the peek, and Face Crack emerges from his hidey hole, sealing off the round. A scary 1v1 situation made by the fact that they kind of rushed back that rotation towards A. Didn't have info on Lekr0, but it assumed that with 4 kills towards B, he was probably in the spawn already. And
sometimes you don't know if the smoke that you throw can be heard by the teammate that you want to hear it, right? Like, they threw a smoke for the B cross, but no one at A can hear that smoke. Lekr0 was in CT spawn, and he sees that or hears that, then maybe he actually goes over towards it. But they were intending to play together, and they didn't expect Lekr0 as the solo and sole man left on A to be at lane by himself. So it was cool positioning by him. Nets him a kill. At least gives him a chance to make it a 1v1. But still, Ninjas don't have a round. I'm really surprised to see that. I feel like they're actually playing Inferno somewhat well. Like they're fragging in spots. They're having lots of chances to buy. Their anti-ecos look solid. They've come close to winning a couple of rounds. But yet they haven't actually won. They haven't actually won a single round. Op here from Exapower. Standard B attack again. And forZe have not shied away from being very aggressive up until the half-wall point. And Ninjas have also met them almost every single time to fight up here. And most of the time have come out ahead in trades.
Yeah.
Let alone gone 1-for-1. Sometimes plopski and Get Right have done a fantastic job, got 2 or 3 kills.
Hey, how's he gone and done that? That's a bit of a robbery. 5 health left for Rez as he sulks back into the A-bomb site. If we could rewind for anything that's happened so far this map, I'm really curious to see how plopski dies to the fire on second oranges. You know,
I'm gonna assume it was a flash.
Yeah, it must have been, and it was definitely a double molly. You know, they did first and second oranges, blind on the execution. But regardless, this pistol round's working out fantastically for the defense. They've gotten themselves 2 kills. They've even gotten their paws on that AK-47. So plopski becomes a real threat. So much so that we may very well see forZe just completely mitigate the B site. They've picked up that bomb, and they could carry on towards mid. They've found their footing on porch. They anticipate the arch peak.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to write forZe out of this quite yet because there's so much pressure on Lekr0 here to get a kill. And he at least stays alive, so that's going to alert his teammates, and he'll fall back to maintain this crossfire with forZe. We can see they're basically just looking at each other, like, cross this line, I dare you. Oh, nice there, but that flash doesn't help him out. forZe gets a couple of kills. 1v2 now for Exapower. Chance to plant, however. Don't know if they're going to run through the smoke. They will. And Get Right will stop the bomb plant to net NiP their very first round.
Yeah, stops the bomb plant, stops that streak. forZe, a scary start to their T side, and even scarier when you consider that domination yesterday versus ENCE began with an 11-4 CT side. So we already know forZe, they're going to be competent on this defense. If you give them 7, 8, potentially 9, 10 rounds on T, ooh, Ninja's in for a world of hurt.
Yeah.
But let's see if they can continue, follow up their opening round with a second. They sure enough have the bye to do so, and luckily for them as well, forZe
dead broke.
Just gonna taper off here.
Yeah, they're so broke. So we can see the residual damage from those previous rounds, whether it was 2 or 3 kills on the ecos or the strong attempts on the rifles, have had so much impact. Yeah, not a single clean round really for forZe out of the 8 total played.
There's a good duel. Rez, he gets aggressive inside of apartments. It pans out in the sense that he gets the opening kill, but he was so pinned into the balcony room, he didn't have a way out. Almazer giving Get Right 1, 2, and 5 more chances. But he's gone. Jerry gonna play around with Ben Franklin, and he too removed. So yes, sure enough, Ninjas win their first round and keep 4 alive in the second follow-up.
Technically cleaner than anything forZe has done so far on the map.
Yeah.
Even if it was versus Pistol. So we'll see if we can turn this into some kind of like momentous push back into the game. Can't write NiP out, obviously, especially here on Inferno. I mean, this is not like forZe's best map. They still have a high win rate in the last few months on Inferno, but it's like 70% as compared to like what do they like better? Nuke. I think Nuke was definitely #1, and Inferno is an even playing field for a lot of teams. Get right, double Molotov kill after Plopsky helps him out with a bit of damage. This has been great teamwork from them. Even when one person has died, it's never allowed the T's to run directly into the bomb site. Yep. And now it's already a 4v2 because we have an A player get a kill as well.
Yeah, those A players, they're starting to feel their groove in the aggression. This is the second round back-to-back where some kind of an apartments push pans out for them. But we've also had this happen time and time again. forZe with some like mid to late round success at the B bomb site, coming out of a disadvantage. Exapower with the high road takes down Rez before any rotates can happen. And they're going to opt to go for that deep construction control in this after plant, doubling up on it.
I love it. Yeah, they're combining their health right now. You know, they're kind of low, but the fact they have an op and he can be mobile now in construction, this position can't be played unless you have a teammate here.
Good flash.
Shots missed.
Exapower takes damage. Flit, he's going to go for the aggression. Swings out wide. Oh, man, just lucky to be alive. And the Molly! The Molly gets it done. 3 frags by Flames, and a defuse comes through, giving Ninjas their third.
Well done. I think Exapower missed a shot on Banana that he probably should have been held accountable for, but still, 2v2, NiP play it well. They throw good grenades, especially with that late smoke and Molotov. Something that you can't really talk about sometimes because you're backwards rationalizing is how much utility is left when the round is over or near the end of the round. And it was good on Lekro to not waste his because both of them came into play and were very important. In terms of utility, well, actually, forZe are just on another eco after that one. They've got forZe's another P250. Jerry runs by 2. One's blind. Plopsky, Get Right, all getting kills. Oh my God, it's a 4K spray down. 1 mag for Get Right. And he puts that down. Eco to rest.
Put it to rest real quick. And this is nice to see from Ninjas. They get that 1 round on the board. You lose 7 straight, you open it up, and then you lock it all down. Plopsky, not even needed. Get Right with those controlled bursts. 3-4 shots apiece. You get nothing more. You know, maximizing the bang for his
That was more than nice, right? I mean, he's got, and they're all head armored opponents too, so that was sick. That was really good. That was some vintage stuff. Vintage stuff for sure. So much money's been made. And again, like this is NiP winning 4 rounds in a row. AWP will be back in the hands of Exapower. It's been 2 saves, 2 buys in the last 4 rounds.
Get to the B site.
Get to the chopper. used to play with Face Crack, Chopper.
Very true. Then to Vegas Squadron he went. The kryptonite of NiP once upon a time.
True.
Let's see if forZe can take up that mantle. I'm happy this is turning into an interesting game. I was scared it was going to be another Inferno blowout.
Felt like it was about to be a wash, yeah.
Yep. But no, nay. They've got their hands full. And now the aggression, it turns sides. Look at Get Right, solo playing B so deep as forZe sets up shop, plucking one off with his op. Flit creeps around the arch side, and Jerry cleaning out the corners, cleaning out the cobwebs, and getting rid of Get Right. We do saw Plopsky over towards that B site, but unfortunately for forZe, he just gets way too close to too many Ts. Now that's a big one. Plopsky's kill towards Banana is going to enable him to push for the gun, and he gets himself in the midst of these 3 Ts. Where does he choose to fight? Doubles back towards site, and that is where he's caught. Unfortunately for him, it's Lekro last alive. So forZe, this is something new. A little B split through CT spawn, not something we'd seen also hadn't seen deep banana aggression, but sure enough, NiP throw that out too. So
I don't know what the read was on the setup. So because they killed Get Right, Jerry kills Get Right at the bottom of B. He runs up to the top of banana, but they actually used that to split Arch through their own smoke. They're like so confident that that's going to be open in this situation. So I don't know what information they had, but they seemed so sure, and they were right. They get into CT spawn, forZe drops an op shot, which is huge. And so maybe he thought that forZe had just left Get Right, and Arch was going to be open for a second. That could have been the call. It's like very common for that rotation to happen. But yeah, it was good IGLing, good deliberate IGLing. One thing I do like about forZe, especially when Ninjas were trying to play this smoke strike game with them and juggle their rotates, they were still good about deliberately going to a site, picking it, committing to it, not being afraid of running into a stack.
This is going to be a nice angle. See you later, sucker. forZe from the pit, transition towards spawn.
Oh, I see. So they just saw forZe and pit, and then
Yep.
Get Right dies there, so they know there's no op at Arch.
Yep.
Okay.
And I mean, he did have positioning, right? Get Right was really fast to rotate back through that spawn, but he just gets caught kind of behind the fountain, outside of library, as opposed to, say, peeking library door. You know, he, unfortunately for him, was found an awkward footing. And I think Plopsky could have made a huge play had he, had more information as to where and when those Ts were coming in. When he had that banana control with the smoke off towards site, there's one more player coming banana. He cuts him off. Then you've got the last two Ts just standing in no man's land.
That's why it's played perfectly by Jerry, because if he dies, then there's no sense in watching your back. You can go and scout out banana and see there's no more Ts left. But since he just doesn't die but doesn't push, you always have to think about Jerry. He's now always on your mind.
Damn it, Jerry.
Yeah, damn it, Jerry. And so that's smartly played by him, of course. So back to B aggression for the CTs. This time the Ts aren't coming out in front of the smokes.
Oh, that could have been far worse.
Yeah.
A second sooner, Jerry shrapnel to the knees. But instead he'll breeze right past it, no problem. And even Almazer happy to take just a tick of damage. In the grand scheme of things, CT's looking heavily stacked here towards the side lane. forZe opens up shop with the op once more. Near mirrored image from the previous round. Now bomb's been thrown down to the ground. Two backs turned to the Arch side. No smoke grenades, no flashes here. This is just feeding themselves to the Ninjas machine. And AWP move forward, 5 survivors. Good spot to be in as you try to close this half.
That was obviously a little bit lazy just because they didn't throw proper flash for forZe to even get him back off this angle. And then they tried to follow up on killing the Opper as opposed to thinking about who could be supporting him. They die to one under Balk, and then when their attention is on now that guy, they totally ignore the fact that someone could have rotated in through Arch, and then suddenly the crossfire that comes in that's supposed to support the op from both sides depending on where the smoke goes down is open from both sides, and everybody gets a kill. So yeah, a little bit lazy there from forZe, and they don't do any damage to help them out into this round. NiP full buy, full grenades. forZe have nothing.
And just when they arrive to their destination, they are met by a Molotov. They're going to put it out, try to play here with the timing. Lekro resides back behind cover. Rez overwhelmed with the sheer number of bodies he has to shoot at. He's lost his teammate over towards the pit. They can still commit to this plant, and it's done in the depths of this bomb site. It's not going to be the best line of vision for the players inside of pit, but as long as they can stave off these CTs long enough for the man in the bomb site, Almazer, to potentially close this down. 4 CTs on the retake. They've got all the kits in the world. 3 flashbangs to play with too, but they're met by a smoke. That makes things kind of awkward. Half of them get cut off, and forZe immediately starts to rotate back around towards short side. He's looking to join Rez.
Oh, they've got no more impact grenades to use, so they've just got to push in. Look at the time.
Very low, and sure enough, Almazer, again, he was their insurance policy, the last potential defense. And they play it down to the nick of time, but they get their defuse through. 6-8 for the Ninjas. Solid retake that I was starting to get worried for.
No, they should have lost, right?
Like, they were just sitting back.
That was such an easy CZ kill because I think it was Plopsky had he had no health after this. So you could see the bullets drawing a silhouette around him, and they could have easily got that kill, delayed a little bit longer, just enough that defusing the bomb would have been a goal out of reach. Last round of the half, round 15. Everybody's got their full buy once again. It's been a tumultuous half both ways. I really like Ninja's CT side. I think they had some close rounds to start things off. They got a little bit unlucky, and I think this will say a lot. Both teams are now shaking the rust off. forZe have shown that there are some chinks in the armor. Ninjas have still more to prove here to just get close to evening up. They go 1 for 1 on banana. which is the ideal situation for me because sometimes it's a wash. Sometimes Banana goes CT way, sometimes Banana goes the way of the Ts. Here, it's more of an even bout, and now we get to see more of the mid-round.
There's a creep from Almazer just to commit into the corner. Lock him in. Keep him here. Let's see what forZe can do on the other side of the map if need be. Or if just they need bomb. They're going to come back towards Banana. Your utility still looking healthy for forZe. Got that smoke primed from face crack. CT's not able to smoke them off yet again. Not with the players here on the B-bomb site, but there goes down the bomb. And from first oranges, Almazer's able to get one, but forZe swaps out to the Deeg. He's gotten himself another kill, doing an excellent job on this defense. But the bomb carrier and Exit Power to task with the 1v3 clutch. He's going to survive the spam. Now Lekro's going to go for the reload, and he gives chase. Ooh, that would have been huge. Still, though, at least knowing he's gone back into the depths of construction, Exit Power can reposition. Unfortunately, he is so pinned in. If I'm him, you go for a duel. You try to cut this down 1v1. Both CTs nearby, and a P250 is good for the clutch. Closes the half with a headshot onto Rez. Smooth moves from Exit Power.
Oh, man, that was nuts. And that's a 9-6 as opposed to the 8-7, which it felt like NiP deserved at that point. They had worked so hard. They had come back into it. They looked super solid. But that was just really, really patient from Exit Power. Super clean.
You know, if I can read anything here watching Exit Power, look at the way he's just soaking up the crowd at the moment. This is a big stage for forZe. I mean, first of all, it's home territory, right? And when we go back to Berlin, which was kind of their biggest showing, they didn't get to the portion of the tournament where you have a crowd in front of you. And this isn't a team we've seen at the usual, you know, introductory crowds, the DreamHack Opens, the et ceteras. So this is big. And I think that seeing that just now, that's got to feel good.
No, you have
clutching a 1v3, people cheering for you.
Yeah, you have a great point. And that is really what's really nice about having tournaments that give teams from regions a chance. It doesn't necessarily result in the top 10 or top 8 or top 5 teams all playing at the same time. But yeah, you do have moments like this. And there can be an argument that, you know, just getting teams used to situations like this can help them learn in ways that wouldn't be possible if they had to go through a normal qualifier. Like if you think about the major, for example, that is basically a giant group stage up until the top 16, where they get any kind of audience, right? And or the top 8, really. I mean, at the top 16, they had like a small crowd in the studio, but it's a big opportunity.
And I think I know at least 5 people who were relieved to hear Vitality dropped out of this tournament. And that had to have been forZe. Because, again, they weren't necessarily guaranteed a chance to play in this portion of Even Blast. I mean, okay, seeing Avangard...
But now you'd think maybe Avangard are a little happy that Vitality...
Right, absolutely. But I'm sure going into that, you know, forZe were questioning it. And then to be given the chance to just perform in the main portion of the event, to be currently, you know, primed to take away a 3-0 in the first 3 rounds. I don't think we've ever had a blast where somebody goes 3-0 and then doesn't make it to the finals. So that being said,
I want to say never.
Yeah. That being said, forZe probably feel like $1 million.
Yeah, that's sweet, man. And it's, you know, it's the perfect place to do it. And us as broadcasters.
Hey,
I'm
casting it.
You think you're better than me, huh? You think you're better than me?
I guess you
Where's my gabagool, huh? All right. What were we talking about?
You were talking about broadcasters. We as broadcasters.
We as broadcasters, we are cheering for the teams from the region because the audience is what gets us excited.
Yeah.
You know, I think some people are like, oh, why do you guys get so hyped up about kills when they're not that special? It's because sometimes when you hear people cheering, you genuinely get more excited than you would if you were at home. I mean, we all have thousands of hours of Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
And when we watch Counter-Strike, oh, here we are. When we watch Counter-Strike at home, we obviously aren't impressed by every single kill. That normally kills that we wouldn't get impressed by in situations like this. But that's the difference. It is about the crowd.
Yeah, it's the context.
Yeah.
It's the context of these frags. It's the fact that there are people here today who came out to cheer for forZe, who were probably at home cheering their hearts out.
Yeah.
When forZe, you know, unfortunately fell short at the majors.
And you better believe that forZe are going to make lifetime fans from events like this.
Yeah, that's how it happens.
You know, Jerry's going to make a play, right? X of power right there.
Yeah.
After getting that clutch has just made someone so insanely happy, or just given them that experience of just being in a crazy moment in a LAN environment. that they're a fan for life. They're locked in. That's as easy as it gets.
Counter-Strike. Hell of a drug.
Yeah, sick.
You ready, Mo? Second half coming at you hot, folks. So we've got NiP swapping on over to the T side. 3-round deficit to begin their offense. And the boys on forZe come in with 4 sets of Kevlar, double flash, and a kit for face crack. Little adventurous Exapower is, feeling the heat from his 1v3. He ganders down mid with no reward. Not that he didn't connect the shot, the fact that he didn't see anything. And oddly enough, Ninjas have 5 players primed here between ult and later.
Shoot. Oh, that's definitely the get right we like to see.
Yup.
For sure. Oh my god. Okay.
Get glocked. Rez watches Arch side. There's another peek. He's anticipating that one for days. Plopsky just parades through, and Exapower still somehow finds himself a headshot. Regardless, NiP are primed here in this post plant.
They were already planning to go A. Get Right was coming out with a pre-fire to the long haul just to see who was there, just to shoot someone who might be shooting him back. And everybody from forZe gets popped. That's a solid round, mechanically speaking, from NiP most importantly. Strategically, it's not that deep. They go A, right? They pop flash out, they take the site. That's one of the options that forZe had at the forefront of their mind. It's either going to be some kind of fast A hit, fast B hit. We deal with that, then we go into the late round. But here, every kill falls into place. Very low time to kill here for NiP. Very impressive stuff. And now it'll be their time to go into an anti-eco in the second round. We've got split pistols here today and a chance for NiP to make it 9-9. Or is it?
See you later, sucker. Poor forZe pops his head out, loses it. One of those kills, of course, where the weapon won't be retrieved, but 5v4 regardless. Can the reposition from Exapower catch another noggin on a silver platter? Well, it's the smoke on the opposite side. No tag on the flying Lekro, and down he goes. That one primary weapon from forZe no longer a part of the problem. Dodging deagle shots from Pit. Face crack looks to land a headshot. Oh boy, that's big. Rez gonna deliver the ump, and the repeat's good for an additional kill. Flit's just gonna lock down this short control. He invites his 2 teammates over in a 3v2 post plant.
Yeah, the party's on. The party is on. Plopsky's in a pretty good spot, but if they split properly, and we're looking at the X-ray here, it really comes down to the peak. If his attention is drawn both ways, it's going to be hard times trying to kill him. Get Right covers Plopsky perfectly, and Plopsky falls back into the guise of the smoke. A 2v3 is won by NiP, but you better believe that that was not gifted to them. That was a tough one to win.
Yeah. Sketchy when Rez comes down to the... You're thinking, of course, you've got a Deagle beneath you who's on a reload. You've got, you know, a basic Goomba stomp for him, but nope. Takes him out at the knees, Launders. If only he could have been able to just maybe tuck his head back down, buy a little bit more time, because if he tucks in that position and you still have Flit holding on porch, there is no way to get him out, and that's not a 3v2 retake, that's a 4v2 retake with a player in Pit and an ump.
A very good point, a very good point. He could take out a page out of Lekro's book and the way he played Pit with a Deagle as well in the very same spot in the first half, was ducking for cover every single chance he took a shot. Stayed alive because that was clearly at the top of his list of priorities, because that's what was going to win them rounds. Get Right, doing work on Banana just like he was on the CT side. It is an eco round, of course, but every kill counts.
Done. Apps turns into a bit of a meat grinder. That's additional cash picked up by the 2 MAC-10s. So NiP, they're going to be feeling themselves coming out of this one. That kind of recuperates some of the losses from the last round.
What's your pred? What do you think?
What am I thinking here?
Yeah.
I mean, dude, first half was all forZe.
I always ask you right before the first rifle round of the second half.
You always do. And then I always give you this inflated answer that's not really based in factual evidence.
It's okay. I'm actually genuinely curious, just like, where do you feel?
Yeah, I just feel like forZe, after watching them,
forZe, yeah.
Not even beat, but dismantle.
Yeah.
Maybe even dismember Ents.
Decimate.
On Inferno.
Disembody.
I can't help but feel like NiP have got their hands full. But we'll see. It's the first gun round of the CT side, like you said. And already we have this 5v4. Plopsky's lost his head. Can Lekro get back some ground here? It's no longer just Deagles inside of these apartments. It is an op. Trained forward towards the back door. Boiler held on as well. Exapower's going to miss his shot. That could have been an immediate 5 versus 2. So a bit of a silver lining is now Rez resides in apartments. That's map control taken. But where do they go from here?
Yeah, still 2 on B. Nobody's really got to move in this situation. You don't want to loosen up on A unnecessarily when you've got your 5v3. They don't have any specific read to go off of. NiP quietly will make their way over to Banana. Stacked up with the bomb now. Everything being cleared out. They have an even chance, I'd say, of getting these 2 kills. That smoke, did that land above them, or? Oh, weird. It was just on the site, I guess. Yeah, we'll see. You got to assume Almazer's good for 1 here, right?
Yeah, especially boosted, unless they all go construction side. Ooh, don't look away! He moves his crosshair, and he's slain. Luckily, Jerry from the side of Coffins is going to get one. forZe, though, deep control. Catches Exapower, just slashing the walls. And Jerry tucks back into position, almost being dropped. But it's get right on for the clutch, and he is caught in the open too. forZe double digits first.
Man, that's positionally a very strange round. I love what forZe did going into CT spawn, ignoring the fact that Jerry was there. I think either way, right? If forZe wraps into construction, he probably helps him kill Jerry. They move along with the B retake. But him going into CT spawn was great too. He like totally caught someone off guard. Didn't even have to take damage in that fight. Was guaranteed to find a frag. But then Get Right's kind of sitting there. I don't know if he knows exactly how he can be useful to forZe in that situation. And then since forZe dies, there's not much play for him to make. So bit awkward, relied very heavily on forZe. Would have loved a way to see Get Right introduced to the mix there.
A little peek down mid from the CT side, but Exapower falls back slightly. Ooh, dancing with death, Lekro. He had an incredible performance yesterday in both their game versus Avantgarde and MIBR. Here on Inferno, well, not at the top of the pack just yet. Flashbangs over towards B. Flit with the first kill, Plopsky the trade. And remember, there's still 2 CTs here, so they could easily give chase to what is a retreating Ninjas. Or at least what was a retreating NiP. They decide to pump the brakes, leave Plopsky there to watch the utility. All the while, Rez, damn, nearly finds his opening into the site. Super low health for the CTs, and yet still they'll succeed in getting another kill. Established man advantage. Does Rez just fly past this smoke? Ooh, Flit with nearly the double. forZe able to recuperate yet again, but all the pressure's on this A site. Jerry doesn't want to leave B, so we're even 2v2.
Wow, Flit called that out so emphatically. Just that information that the next player, I believe also forZe with the bomb. FaceCrack going to take this opportunity. Take a little bit of a liberty here, move into pit. And this just solidifies the A site now. I mean, it's going to be so hard to get in.
100%.
15 seconds, they've got to run up. They've got a pure crossfire and Exapower with an up.
At any moment, that pit peek comes through. FaceCrack takes 2. And you think when Exapower dies in the back of the site, maybe problems are there to be had, but I love the response time.
Now, you were talking up the second half specifically because forZe on the CT side.
Yeah, they 11-4 to Ents yesterday here to start the game, and then just sealed it off with a quick T side 2.
Yeah, it's kind of nuts because if you look at the first half, you say a lot of those were coin flips. You know, maybe Ninjas had too good of a half. They could have had too good of a half to come back from forZe. But now forZe on even strength almost numerically, plus they get to play on their stronger side. You think, well, Ninja's probably a little scared, but they definitely
Look, he's
still
holding
have
his heart.
Inferno. Yeah.
Deep breaths, forZe.
So we're going to have a little bit of a attack pause called.
Yep, NiP, we're just going to talk it over.
Review the options, stretch the wrists. I think one thing we're all looking for when we are on cameras like this is who's smiling and who's not. There's only so much you can read into that, but it's always interesting. It's curious. You're kind of like, he's in a good mood.
Well, like you said, I mean,
he's tilted.
Counter-Strike is a game of calculations, but it's also like, you know, most human activities. It's affected by emotion. You can't not be affected at times. Tough skill to have, but this is just an all-out push. And I mean, the initial damage is fantastic. Ninja's holding on by a thread. The fact they get that one opening kill kind of gives them a sense of hope. A sense of a possibility, especially with forZe just tucked away towards barbecue, but now he's all alone and he's burning to a crisp. The forest's on fire.
And so is the Amazon. Save the Amazon, folks.
Call your local representatives. Get involved. Register. 12-9. 3 rounds the difference. And again, the difference being that this defense has succeeded substantially in the past. So it's going to be a tough shell to crack. forZe looking good. However, if it's ever going to happen, it's when Ninjas actually have some tools to work with. You know, no more haphazard buys, full-fledged Kalashnikovs.
Of all statistics that fly under the radar on Inferno, one of the lesser talked about ones, obviously utility damage. There's going to be a lot done. It's going to be very important. FaceCrack was kind of alone there. Yeah, just sitting under the belt. Exapower set up to live a little longer. A great flick by him. Maintains Hall's controls. Has so much information. Somebody's coming up from behind. forZe wastes no time. And Plopsky joins him for another. It's 2-on-2. They seem totally aware of where the next kill will come from. And all of a sudden, it's a clutch. It has to be Almazer to do something.
Oh, man, the timing. Plopsky's going to get across to the bomb site. Did forZe just see him? No. Not with the way Plopsky's still concerned with library, but the head's over the top. And forZe has got him popped. That's a big recuperation from the Ninjas. I mean, when you have Exapower inside of apartments and he gets that kill up close, that sickening flick shot, he then turns back around to flash for his teammate, but he blinds his teammate in the bomb site and exposes his back to the player walking up behind him. You see? So he gives away his own life and doesn't really help Buddy on bomb site. So that's a bit of a gift given to the Ninjas that they will happily unwrap.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. Yeah, because he made like a key play and then fluffed it as well. Yeah.
Mind you,
I like, but more than anything, I love that forZe changed the game plan instantly. You know, that's where the experience comes into play. Runs into halls and is like, I need to take out this op. There's no one else that's going to kill him. If we spend our time dilly-dallying at lane and trying to play this jiggle peek game with Exapower, he's going to win every duel. So he actually gives Ninjas a chance. Without that, Plopsky doesn't shine with his 2 kills. The round is a wash. For sure, Ninjas don't win. For sure.
Let's see if they can set up a highway robbery. Pistols and a single scout. But the numbers are over here towards Banana, and if they can pick up this kill, could have been a couple guns. Then they all storm forward, and Get Right's going to be happy to pick up as many pieces as he can, smoking off that last B player. FaceCrack with a bit of an element of surprise, finds forZe, picks up the 8. Fight, and 38 health is not enough, so we have a 1v1.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it. Lots of time left here for Lekro. He was on the other side of this last time. Much harder situation from him. He's going to go ahead for the route to take the fight early. He swings out a bit late. Jerry plays with him. I think he might have known. I don't know if he could hear from that point that Lekro was about to come around the corner, but it seemed like he was expectant of that duel. So that could have gotten ugly, but he did maintain distance, which is good for Lekro. All these CTs flying out into enemy lines like spider monkeys, but getting destroyed. I know you know that's not. We don't know for sure that's what a spider monkey sounds like, but that is what that's what a monkey sounds like.
It's what it does today. Yeah. Frag and a Molotov at the feet of Exapower. Ooh, and it gets extinguished. Flashbang's not effective. Second? No, sir. So, yeesh. Playing dangerous games, Jerry. He's going to throw a flashbang of his own. T's getting themselves incrementally closer, and down goes Get Right. First casualty of the round, just as NiP were attempting to close this out at 12 rounds apiece. Oh, wall bang! See you later.
1.6 in chat.
Pog. Up. Swapped. Yes. Get that bad boy into the back of the B bomb site.
I think Rez has definitely made a bit of noise. He's got FaceCrack's full attention. CTs from these spots don't have to move much. Yeah.
I was going to say, speaking of spider monkeys, Flit climbing all the way to the top of the balcony.
Up in his treehouse.
Alone. Ooh. Substantial damage done. 75% of the health shaved off, and Rez, he hears the audio of the fallback, but Can't quite capitalize on the kill. It's a nasty angle, and Flit's so aware of it. A pop-up, though, from FaceCrack's going to cost him. forZe gets the ball rolling into this A site, and Flit's ready to watch back on the flank, but he turns his head at the worst possible time, doubling back and not doing enough damage to finish off Lekro.
That
1 HP the difference.
That is so well played from Flit, too. That was really well played. First of all, getting the kill in halls. I'm calling this round because I think, you know, they're probably going to think about saving. Bombs planted so far away. They're already slowing down at the bottom of Banana, but that's so well played from Flit. He kills Rez off of FaceCrack's information that he heard one sound cue, carefully gets into the site, and then gets into that angle, deletes Rez. Once he's on the site, he realizes he's not being shown an opponent from lane. He has to try to, he hears Lekro behind him. He has to try to bait Lekro into coming through that smoke, so he just shoots. He's hoping he does some damage, but he doesn't really care. He's turning around to kill Lekro specifically. He does that bait that peek out, and he gets a little bit of damage. Obviously, Lekro lives with 1 HP. But if that weren't the case, right, that's 3v2, plus they have to kill him still. And he's on the bomb site with a lot of health behind a pretty good box. Then his teammates can start to rotate in. Another round that is just so damn close, like 1 kill the difference.
Boom. I mean, to think about that, right? A timed wallbang shot and a 1 HP moment in the same round at a pinnacle turning point to get this game tied up at 12 apiece.
Also, rough there by FaceCrack to pop up over the bicycle, but it's not as if he showed his whole body.
Yeah. No, it takes talent.
Yeah, like forZe went ahead, hit a really nice flick in that situation, and he was going to peek. I wouldn't call it a mistake by any means.
Ooh, 5-7 traded. Almazer with a double. And he's in the midst of the 2 Molotovs, chasing down a 3rd kill. Lekro! Oh, 4! Yeah! All on his own. Just murders the banana play. And it's only Rez left in a matter of seconds.
Never shoot all 30 bullets, right? Or someone's coming to find you. A great spray down there at the end for the 3rd and 4th kill. That's huge. That's huge.
Yeah, tie the game up all you want. Dropping bombs on Banana. Rez nearly given a chance to line up bodies too, but that's a convincing one out of forZe, and it's been a while.
Who's picking up the second op?
Let's see.
And how do they use it? Oh, this is huge. And again, one reason you don't want to use all 30 bullets, Lekro actually saves a couple, but forZe just has to have his back in that situation because his mag's going to go dry within moments.
You know, it's a beautiful moment there. The round prior, 1 HP on Lekro makes the difference. Okay. And in that spray down, Almazer walks away with 1 bullet left as well.
Oh, wow.
Decimal points.
And it's huge for forZe because they didn't have much money. So now everybody keeps their guns, plus they have 2 ops. They wouldn't have been able to have this 2 op buy if he had died, or if the round had come any closer, basically. Ninjas are opting to spend half of their money. Get Right still got 3,900. Okay, now he'll go ahead and spend the rest. So are they leaving it all on the table here? It's a semi-buy, as denoted by our nice UI, but at 12 to 13, is that the most fiscally responsible decision?
Oh, man. Just sheer aggression. Flit's gotten right behind them. They have no clue. Oh, but he's going to jump the gun, goes immediately for the first kill, and the wall is going to eat a bunch of his bullets. There's FaceCrack. He's going to get in within the chaos and capitalize on it. Ninja's coming in with that half bite. Taken out early. Get Right pops his head up from the hidey hole, and Jerry stomps him right back down.
So now they're in a position where they have no money facing match point. They could have. Clearly the analysis on their part is okay. We just lost the round. We know they don't have much money. If we buy now and win, then there's a chance that they have to save next round. So the opportunity cost is obviously that they don't have the best guns in the world themselves. They probably know they're coming in with a 40% chance to win, but if they win that round, maybe they just take the whole map. But since they lost, they understand the grave they dug for themselves. They're saving with between $1,300 and $1,900. They're going up against 2 ops plus full utility plus a bank to spare, and match point is on the line.
Ooh, a freebie off the Glock.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yikes.
Protect that op with your life. I mean, just never let that go out of your sight. There's not really much the pistols can do.
Shoot it across. Get it deeper over towards arch side.
Sure.
I mean, I'm not clairvoyant, but just ahead of the game.
Yeah.
You know, entrepreneurial. Easy anti-eco, though. Eesh. The half-bite, as anticipated, finds some struggles getting past what was a killer choke point. And there's Flit, perched up for the final kill. So that is forZe securing themselves a point here in round 3.
Yeah.
And there will be only a couple of chances for NiP to bounce back into this.
So for those of you just tuning in, forZe have 7 points so far in the tournament, the highest by far.
Yep.
We don't know what the results are, the other matches that are going on right now, but 2 teams, Na'Vi and ENCE, both have 4 points, I believe, and then, or Na'Vi actually they went 0 and 2, huh? So
yes.
0, 2, MIBR have 4 points, and
NiP have 4 points.
Yeah, NiP had 4 points. forZe are the Astralis of the tournament so far in that sense, like just going basically potentially 3-0. At least here, Ninjas have a chance to full buy before the game is over, but they've sacrificed the ability to get 3.
Ooh, get right.
Oh my god. Completely silent.
You sneaky devil. Now, if there's a pop flash that comes off T-ramp with this, that could be great, but he's going to have to do it here and now. forZe catches Flit instead, and Jerry's going to fall back from his position, fired out. That's one of those moments where you think you could see something incredible. But luckily for forZe, they decide to go and push ramp, and it kind of disrupts what Get Right was trying to put himself into. Regardless, I think forZe are content to just walk away with a 4v4, split these 2 AWPs, kernel up your defense to the 2-2.
Time has not been a problem for most of these rounds. They've both been kind of quite responsible when it comes to how much time is left, when to execute. They've never been out of options. Both teams deliberate in that sense, always trying to move something forward. Here it bleeds down a bit. They've still got some utility to work with. 3 Molotovs, most important for NiP. 2 on site for forZe. We've seen even trades at times from within the site, but one of those is an op. So there's not much moving they need to do, and not many smokes here for NiP to work with. But 2 could be enough.
We're going to have to just trudge right through this. They want to make it happen. 14 seconds left. Player on the other side of Fountain. Get Right just flies over the Fountain. And he's going to take an assist as forZe and him both clear out this site. Woo, leaving it down to the wire, Launders. And yet, they come out on top.
And that's a great way to use the smoke.
Yeah.
Right? That was awesome movement by Get Right. Just got up there so efficiently, used the smoke, because if there was no smoke in the middle of the site, you would never jump up on Fountain like that. That would be stupid. You'd look like an idiot. He makes a great play there, and it's so unintuitive to the other team. They're looking at the smoke. They're not going to think anybody would do that, and it ends up resulting in the most pivotal frag. So super good entry. They got past an op, a rifle, a ton of utility. forZe, who had 5 men up, and it was very late into the round. Those kills had to come quickly.
Yeah, they had like 14 seconds when they decided to start sprinting around the last corner of Banana. So a welcomed 13th round for the Ninjas in Pajamas.
Yeah, Get Right was amazing in the last 2 rounds of his match yesterday. I think it was versus MIBR in the second map. He was like instrumental. He like came through. I was like, dude, I saw him in the hotel. I was like, dude, you were nuts in those last 2. I just feel like we haven't, obviously Get Right has been extremely off or on, but mostly off in recent times.
Yeah.
It's good to see some form, because as good of a pickup as Plopsky is, as good as, like, you know, people have been saying great things about him, switching out one player for NiP has just not worked. They've done that lots of times at this point. It's pretty much been middling results to poor results ever since McLaren, right? And that's always been an issue. But even if they do pick up Plopsky, and Plopsky is the truth, he's going to need more help. The experience is great, but you know Get Right was originally on the team for a straight-up individual skill. So if we can get back those signs of life, then, you know, it gives a chance like Plopsky, gives even more of a chance to Plopsky to help out even further.
Ooh, but you know what? Get Right's not the only guy who can take the high road.
Yeah.
Almazer, he sets up on the top rope. He falls off when he's got a player in his face. Plopsky gives chase, spams smoke, but does insignificant damage. Fire both ways, holds off the big clash, but a follow-up bottle to the back of the sandbags. Almazer is still posted in this angle. Ooh, do it. Oh, he's blind.
That's a good 4 or 5 seconds right there.
It's a solar flare of a flashbang. Almazer, though, he's not going to shy away from this, especially with Jerry supporting both him and Flit on the flash.
Well, they're peeking first.
Done.
Flash going to come over late.
Oh, but there it is. Because Flit's there, Get Right gets so drawn in to give chase to the Auber. 5 versus 3. Ooh, but they're staring at the match point as we have NiP with one last-ditch effort, charging towards the A site. Face crack cleared from Balk, and a 3v2 with the bomb down. Quick rotations coming out of forZe.
Hey, that's a good trade. That's a good trade. They've been good in these man-down situations with the bomb down. I wouldn't be surprised if NiP closes out. Smoke doesn't have much time left.
And forZe, he's just holding middle. Jerry's going to walk right into the op. Now Rez, he could be under pressure because if forZe decide to pressure the other side of this bomb site as forZe moves over, you'd think Rez has a chance, but he just gives away the bomb site. He hears those footsteps, lets them in. forZe with a second op frag. Flit gives his back to Pit, and it's an excellent 2 versus 4. 3, who knows? All I know is that Ninjas were not supposed to pick that one up, Launders.
Wow, that was great, and none of the players who died got a shot off. They all got shot in the side or the back. That makes that much more impressive. Positionally, of a fantastic round from forZe. This is just sick. They're not even a bullet off for Almazer, even though he has the feeling, the inkling that forZe might be there. He's not confident enough to go for the straight-up pre-fire.
Dude, and again, we're talking regular rounds of the Blast Pro Series where there is no overtime. Overtime reserved for finals. It's a treat. It's a delicacy. But this is also a delicate situation because we have Ninjas, sure enough, looking for that 1 point of a tie and facing a very under-equipped forZe in this 30th round.
You definitely aren't gifted finals for getting 8 points. So if this does get tied up, this whole tournament stays interesting into round 4.
A second tie for NiP as well. So let's see how they handle this.
It's mostly pistols. NiP, with that knowledge, don't want to rush things. No sense in doing that. Extra power will look for a kill. Rez switches back just in time.
Yep. But there's one. There's one for them. They smoke off that weapon as well. They could very well try to get their paws on it. However, with a kill on the A site and being smoked off of Banana, we could easily watch Ninjas just force their hand into this A site, and a missed Deagle shot from Face Crack could really create problems. He uses the flash, comes back, and hits the head of Rez. Wants second servings, but it's Flit to get into the mix. That UMP good for another kill. At least another kill to keep them 3v2. And Jerry, well, he's found some timing. He is already hot on the heels of forZe, who backs right up into it, but Get Right gives cover from Pit, and NiP now to the 2 versus 1. Flit up from lane, takes down Get Right, and it's forZe with the final kill. The legends stand up for NiP, joining